Hello and welcome to Nikolai's genetics lessons, and this video is going to be about forensic science and genetics, and you have to choose whether the statement is true or false, so pretty easy task. We have six statements today, and here is the first statement. No two people have the same DNA profile. Is it true or false? And this is false statement because identical twins have identical DNA profiles. Second statement, for an adult to be the parent of the child, 3/5 of the bands on the two profiles must match. And we get half of our chromosomes from mother side, half of our chromosome from the father side, and of course any of the parents would have 50% of the bands match bands of the child. So this is also false statement. And next statement, to have siblings will have less matching bands in the DNA profiles than two full siblings. And of course, two full siblings would share 50% of their genetic makeup, and two half siblings would share 25% of their genetic makeup. So this is true statement. And next statement, all hair samples with the medulla intact contain DNA. Medulla is a central part of the hairs in which we can find pigments, and our hairs, whether it is black or blonde, are different colors because of the different pigments that we can find in the medulla. And for example, half of my hairs is gray, so it doesn't mean that half of my hairs doesn't have DNA anymore. DNA can be extracted from the hairs. It is hard to do, but usually from the hairs we can extract mitochondrial DNA. It's much easier because it's present in much more copies, and still it doesn't depends whether hair has medulla or not. So this is tricky question. I would say this is true statement, but on the other hand, if the statement would be we can find DNA in samples that doesn't have medulla, samples of hairs, we still would answer this is true, because presence or absence of medulla doesn't affect presence or absence of DNA. And next question or statement, latent fingerprints do not contain DNA. And actually I took this true-false questions from one of the online tests that is probably like 5 years old, and the answer was that latent fingerprints do not contain DNA. But actually when I did the research I have found information that we can actually now test fingerprints for DNA presence, and about 35% of fingerprints we can extract, we can use those fingerprints to extract DNA, and with a special technique that is called touch DNA, we can extract from 70% of the samples, we can extract DNA. So latent here stands for the fingerprints that is not visible but present, and in order to see those fingerprints we have to use with a special light or use special chemicals to make them visible. And potent fingerprints is those that we can see with an aided eye, for example bloody fingerprints. So now the correct answer would be that this is false statement. In most of the cases we can use fingerprints in order to extract DNA and build of course DNA profile of person. And the last statement, most body fluids contain DNA, and this is true statement. those, for example, blood. In blood we can find many components, but red blood cells do not have nucleus and do not have DNA, and this is most abundant blood cells that we can find in the blood, that compose about 45-48% of the blood. So basically we can find them in the blood, for example, in white blood cells and in platelets that make about 2 to 3% of the whole blood volume. So as you see, not that much, but it is enough for testing, and all other body fluids also contain some number of nucleated cells that can be used for DNA testing. And this is all for today. Thank you for your attention. Please subscribe for my new videos that I post almost every day. Thumbs up if you like this video. Please write your comments, questions if you have any. And see you in the next video. Goodbye.